One of the more practically important developments in sports nutrition and gerontology over the past 2 decades has been the emerging understanding that not all protein is physiologically equivalent, and that this distinction becomes progressively more consequential as we age. The concept at the center of this conversation is the leucine threshold, and it explains a great deal about why older adults who eat the same quantity of protein as younger adults often still lose muscle mass, and why protein source matters in ways that calorie counting alone cannot capture. Leucine is one of 3 branched-chain amino acids and the most potent activator of mTR, the mechanistic target of rapamycin, which is the primary intracellular signaling complex that triggers muscle protein synthesis. Think of leucine as the biochemical on switch for muscle building. Research suggests that somewhere between 2 and 3 grams of leucine per meal is needed to reliably activate this switch, and in older adults, the threshold may be slightly higher due to a phenomenon called anabolic resistance, a reduced sensitivity of aging muscle tissue to the same anabolic signals that work efficiently in younger muscle. Animal proteins are disproportionately leucine-rich. Whey protein leads the field with roughly 11 to 12% leucine by composition. Beef, eggs, and fish typically fall between 8 and 10%. By contrast, most plant proteins contain 5 to 8% leucine, and because plant proteins also tend to be lower in total digestibility due to fiber and anti-nutrient content, the actual leucine delivered to muscle tissue per gram of food is often substantially lower than the label suggests. This matters enormously for an older adult eating smaller meal volumes. Someone consuming a 4-ounce chicken breast at lunch is likely clearing the leucine threshold with room to spare. Someone eating an equivalent caloric portion of lentils or brown rice may fall short, particularly if digestive efficiency has declined with age. The result, over time, is not catastrophic protein deprivation. It is a subtle but consistent shortfall in muscle protein synthesis that compounds into meaningful muscle loss across months and years. It would be misleading to suggest that plant-based diets are incompatible with maintaining muscle mass. They are not, with careful planning. Leucine can be added to plant-based meals through supplementation or by incorporating leucine-dense plant proteins like soy. Distributing protein across 4 smaller meals rather than concentrating it in 1 or 2 larger ones also appears to improve synthesis efficiency in older adults. But these are workarounds for a problem that doesn't exist to the same degree when animal proteins are the primary source, and for individuals who are not meticulous dietary planners, which describes most people. The practical gap between animal and plant protein in maintaining muscle mass after 50 is real. The implications extend beyond aesthetics. Sarcopenia is not just about how someone looks. It predicts falls, fractures, metabolic disease, immune decline, and ultimately independence in the elderly years. Protein quality, not merely protein quantity, deserves to be part of every serious conversation about what older adults should be eating.